Imagine that the reality where you're single is 107.6 FM. It's like a radio signal. And then there's also another radio signal that's 98.4 FM where you are in the relationship. You have attracted love into your life. Understand, these are two different frequencies. And in this video, I'm going to show you the things you must let go of out of your current frequency. And when you do this, you allow yourself to then tune to the channel of 98.4, where you are in a happy relationship, you feel love, and your whole entire life is completely different. All right, the first thing I want to show really quick is that, and just kind of explain the idea of understanding this whole process of resonance. Because many times if we are saying that once I'm here, then I will feel that love, then we're prolonging that love within our energetic field. And the funny thing is if we feel like we want love, it means that we also lack love. You can only want that which you don't have. If you had it over here, they don't want love. They are love. They are feeling the love between each other. Now, the place that we can get that changes everything is when we start to decide that within our energetic field, we are going to feel love because we choose to. We're going to fill up our own cup. We're going to scratch our own itch. And when we do that, the paradox is that then we're in the resonance of love and we love ourselves, and then we appear to be more attractive to other people. So you may have heard some of my series on YouTube lately where I've been talking about how to stop chasing love and what to do instead. Now, that's actually the first thing you need to let go of in order to attract love. You need to let go of the chase. When we are chasing love, what we are doing is it's in a way like a carrot on a stick, and there's that stick, and it's like the chase is the stick. So it's like no matter where you go, there's always going to be a little bit further away, a little bit further out of reach. And that's because it's simply about vibrational resonance. One vibration, the one that says we lack it, therefore we're chasing it, that is implying that the love isn't already here. And in the same moment that we keep telling ourselves that story over and over and over again, the love's not here, the love's not there, it's over there, I'm going to chase it, I'm going to chase it. It's externalizing the own love. And when we are in that mode, the energy we are putting off is an energy of repelling. We are repelling. Think of it like, also, I remember I used to, I've told this story a couple times, but I used to work with this lady, and we noticed that this guy we used to work with would always chase women. And when he would chase them, she said to me, you notice that anytime he's chasing them, it's implying that they're running away from him? So imagine, like, I've done this analogy before as well, but imagine like there's a little dog right here. If I were to go, come on, and I were to like start chasing him like this, guess what that dog's gonna do? The dog's gonna start playing with me, and the dog's gonna run away. And that's what happens 99% of the time, because people are playing off the energy dynamic that we are giving off to them. So if we are treating them like the star and we're just a cameo, guess how they're gonna treat us? They're gonna treat us like the way that we're embodying the cameo role. They're like, oh, thank you for being here to support my leading role part in this movie called life. And then we're like, well, I just feel like if I had the love, then I would feel good. But you see, the key is not chasing and switching up the dynamic, becoming the star of your own movie. And almost every single time in the past that I have intended to attract love, if it's ever happened to where I started to chase, it doesn't end well. I'll tell you that from experience. It just doesn't end well. The key is linking up your own self-image to knowing that it is natural for you to love yourself, and then being the star of your own movie. Anytime I was making someone else the star, they would play off that energy dynamic. And one of the first girlfriends I had, I would buy I'd buy her meatball subs. This is what I used to be in high school. And I would do all these things and thinking, oh, if I do this, she'll like me. And then that just caused it to where she just kept feeling resistance, and we were together, but then it kind of fell apart. And then what happened is I got into a new friend group at school. I started completely enjoying life way more, and then I started realizing I was in abundance because I had options. I didn't have to limit myself to that one person that was buying meatball subs. So what I ended up doing is I ended up just having fun in this friend group, and then all of a sudden, it's like she could feel, she's like, why is he being the star of his own movie? And she started calling me up, and she's like, why don't you become the cameo in my movie again? Or, wanting to hang out with me and wanting to patch everything up. And then I was already moved on. I was already like, okay, well, now I realized I started to fill up my own cup and I started feeling completely different. What changed there? The energy dynamic. I was no longer chasing it. When you're not chasing it, it comes for you. When you are the gravity of your own, and you're the star of your own movie. So the first thing you have to let go of is let go of the chase. I know it sounds a little weird because we're told and we're taught it the opposite way. Let go of the chase and watch how things start to chase you because you've changed the energy dynamic. Now, the second thing I'm going to share with you in here. All right, number 2 has to do with something a little bit more fun, a little bit different than anything you've probably heard me share before. But it has to do with understanding our beliefs and doing things that emphasize making space for bringing love into our life. Now let me explain to you what I mean by this. Right now I'm inside my room and I'll just kind of show it to you. I have this right here. This is a cool little gratitude thing that I had put in here. Now this is, let me scooch on the screen. This is my bed right here, and that right there is a picture of Sedona. Now, recently what happened is I was been into feng shui lately, and somebody explained to me that as far as the painting behind your headboard goes, this is not great for attracting love. Now, luckily, I'm pretty busy and I'm not necessarily intending to attract love into my life. However, if I did want to attract love, what I've heard from many different people is that putting something that represents love or masculine and feminine above the bed is something that really helps. I've had somebody reach out to me on Instagram for that, and I also had a feng shui person that come to my house that was helping me just design my whole entire house. Now, I was talking to somebody recently at my buddy Victor's retreat. Her name was Julie. She was a real cool lady, and she was explaining to me that she advised, she's like a financial advisor and also a life coach. She advised one of her clients that was single but wanted to be in a relationship. She advised this client, who was a client that was well established in her career, took her career really seriously, to move. She lived right in that moment, she lived in like a 1-bedroom, 1-bathroom apartment. And she said, well, if you want to attract love into your life, move into a certain part of, I think it was in New York, that had a certain, like, it was a family school, like it was a family area neighborhood. So if you live in that neighborhood, it means normally you would have like a family. Plus, she recommended that she move into like a 3 or 4 bedroom house, which is probably not cheap in New York, but I guess this lady was very well off, so it wouldn't really be a big deal to her. And she said, move into that space because then you're opening up and allowing yourself to make space for love in a relationship or kids. And she told her that, and she goes, okay. She ended up doing it. She moved into this really family district type place that was very good for families. She moved into a 3 or 4 bedroom house, even though it was just her. And lo and behold, within months, she met a guy that she ended up getting into a relationship with, and now they have kids. Now, does this work every time? Could it have been just a belief that really works? That then it's like she moved into this area, and then also it opened her up to perceiving of more of things. I don't know. But I do know that I've heard many stories of this happening before, and I've heard the power of feng shui. And here's something else that I've heard of some people doing. This is my closet right here. Now, if I wanted to attract some type of relationship in my life, what I could do is I could clear out some of the clothes, maybe like clear out this side of the closet of nothing, and just have it be like my stuff's over here. It's kind of a big closet, but all the way over there could be completely empty, because then I am making space for somebody else to in a way, like, energetically attract into my life. That is the idea. And that's why sometimes they say, cleaning out your closet space, doing things like that may help as well. Now, is it the belief that does it? Or is it the actual space that you've made that now allows you more so to resonate with that reality? I don't know, but I do know that this works for many people, so maybe that's something that you can try as well. It's a little bit different, and if I did want to attract love, what I could do is I'd have to probably change that to represent something more of romance or love or something like that. But for me, I love Sedona, so I'm gonna leave it there. So that was number 2. It's a little bit different than usual, and now let's move on to number 3. The third thing you wanna get rid of in order to attract love into your life is obsessing about a relationship. I know so many people, and it was even me for a while, where I was thinking I really wanna be in a relationship. This is years ago, it's been a while. I've been really just on my own path for a while now, of focus kind of being the star of my own movie, but there's times I do slip. However, the key to this is the more we obsess, the more we think about a relationship, and the more we acknowledge that that relationship we want is not here, is the more we emphasize that lack. The more we emphasize 107.6 FM, which is the single channel. And if you want to attract someone into your life, which is 98.4 FM, the key to this is dropping the focus on the relationship not being here now. How many times have you seen this happen before, by the way? Two people in a relationship, they break up. One person's really sad about it, the other one's not so sad about it. The person that's really sad about it, they want to attract that person, that specific person, back into their life. They're thinking about them, they're obsessing about them, they're obsessing about them, they're obsessing about them, they're thinking about them. And this person's the star of their own movie, just doing their thing, doesn't really care that much. Now what happens is then this person says, okay, I get it, I gotta move on, I'm gonna go hang out with my friends. They then go and they hang out with their friends and they start to forget about this other one. They go and they work on themselves. Maybe they go and they work on themselves. They go to some type of conference, something, and they start to focus on themselves versus focusing on this person. And guess what ends up happening? All of a sudden, this person can feel that. It is like, why is this energy dynamic changing? And then this person many times will text this person. I've seen it happen so many times. Somebody finally starts to let go of that person and stop obsessing about them. And then this person feels it and reaches back out to this person and says, hey, remember me? Remember me? Can you think about me some more? Because energetically, when we think about people, we send them energy. When we think about them and we're resisting them because they're not in our life, guess what? That energy is repelling them and they want nothing to do with you. But then when you change the energy by not even thinking about them, they then feel that energetic pull go away and they're like, what's going on over there? What is this person up to? Maybe this person's actually doing okay. And it changes the dynamic. I see that happen so often. People get text messages once they finally start to let go. Now, I'm not saying this because sometimes people will listen to some of these videos and assume that what I mean is, well, how do I let go so that I can then get it? No, the key is to really let go. Really let go and become free. And understand that you can become okay, 100% whole and okay and happy and complete by yourself, and that's an attractive energy that then will attract what you want into your life. But you have to really become okay with you being you by yourself. And that's a key to this process. The more that we obsess, the more that we think about this and how it's not here now. If we were to look at this, you ever see couples, by the way? Here's something else you want to let go of. If you're single right now and you look at other couples with disgust and think like, oh, they're so annoying to see couples that are lovey-dovey in public. They're so annoying. And there's like this energetic charge in the field against that. Then you're blocking love from your life. Love can't come into your life because you're resisting seeing it in other people. If you get to a place to where you appreciate seeing that love in life, that love in other people, then that's the energetic and the powerful energy. So the third kind of weird thing to let go of that so many people do is they chase and then they obsess. Number 3 is obsessing, thinking about it over and over again. Change the focus from subject or from out there to in here, to your own energetic field. And that's the key. Now, the fourth thing that we have to give up is the story we tell ourselves about love. That's this heart right here. The story that we consistently tell ourselves about love. Let me explain a little bit more about this outside. Quick little side note, I was just walking down the stairs. One of the things the feng shui lady told me is she said that I have too much art. So I've like art that's like a one big wave. I guess you could say it's little waves. But I have all this art and a lot of it's not up because when I moved into this house, a lot of the art was solitary one things. It'd be like one big tree. It would be like one wave. It would be one like mountain or something like that. And one subconsciously is always singlifying like subconsciously one. Like I'm a very individual person. If you look at my numerology, if you look at many different things in my life, like I'm very much a go-getter and I'm independent. I love doing what I want to do when I want to do it, and I like that freedom. So it kind of resonates with that. However, that's something else to think about. Maybe she said, oh, if you want to attract love, have 2 things or something like that. But like I said, I'm busy and stuff. Okay, that was a little side note. Now the key to number 4 is understanding that every single one of us has a story about love. We even have a story about the kind of person we attract into our life. And you may notice that sometimes we may attract someone into our life that may have a similar energy dynamic as somebody in our past. and that is on autopilot. So the fourth thing to become aware of is that story that we tell ourselves. And you can see it in people's definitions. We say that I always attract someone in my life that takes advantage of me. I always attract someone that doesn't like me as much as I love them. I always attract somebody that is that I feel like I have to like compete with or keep up with. I always attract someone into my life that that treats me this way or that way. That is all a story, and that is a story that is on autopilot. And many times it will be on autopilot. For me, I had this story because of my ex-stepmom, who was controlling physically, mentally, emotionally. Even after my ex-stepmom left my life when I was 15 years old because my dad divorced her, guess what happened? I associated subconsciously women with being controlling. So when my first girlfriends, she was somebody that wanted to control. She didn't like me. The way I was too much. I was so outgoing that it annoyed her. She was always very jealous. She was worried about so many things. She always tried to control me. And that was the energy dynamic. And I think because subconsciously, I assumed that that's the way women are. And even after the funny thing was, I broke up with her, and like 3 years later, and I was working at Nordstrom's of women's shoes. And here's the interesting thing. When I broke up with her, I then, within 2 weeks, got promoted to a new department in Nordstrom's. I went from BP shoes to salon shoes. Salon shoes was better. It was designer shoes. It was a better department to be in, but the manager of that department was exactly like my ex-stepmom. Almost exactly. Similar personality, same type of energy dynamic. She talked down to people. She couldn't physically do anything. However, mentally, emotionally, for sure, she was very abusive. And it took years for her to get fired. You want to know what happened? You want to know when that happened? When I completed the past and I became aware of that story, and I completed it. It was also when I went through my spiritual awakening. Within weeks of going through that process, she got fired, and people were trying to get her fired for years for things that she really did. She was protected by upper management. That's why she was able to keep her job. But you see, this is a funny thing with our life is our life works in patterns based on the subconscious story we're telling ourselves. When you change your story, you change your life. So the question I have to you is, do you have a story right now that you are single, that you've been single for a certain amount of time? You know, I know somebody that, I know a couple people actually, just because of my age right now. I know some people that are, there's a pressure for some women to have kids at around 30 years old. And sometimes what I notice is that there's some friends that are getting close to 30, and what happens is they're like, oh, I need to be having kids. I should be in a relationship right now. And there's a story they're telling themselves that's then causing resistance. And then the story that it's not here yet is a story that's on autopilot that's causing resistance. And I could so easily see that they just let go of that story and they just allowed themselves to enjoy the present moment and to really let free. And then they have this attractive energy, and it would probably happen quicker than ever. But you see, the story we tell ourselves is on autopilot. So the fourth thing you must get rid of is you must become aware of your story. And just becoming aware of it is the process in of itself. When you become aware of it, that's when you can let it go. But when it's on autopilot, guess what? It's going to continue to run itself out over and over and over again. All right, now the fifth thing you must let go of to attract love is understanding the attachment to the outcome, and that you don't have to create this love in your life. Many times we think that our ego must do everything. And when our ego must do everything, it's like we're attached to the outcome. We're attached to how things happen and what it means if things don't happen the way we want. But understand this, 98.4 FM, when you're in the relationship, that reality, it already exists. Just like we know that the radio frequency of 98.4 FM, it already exists. You don't have to create that radio station. It already exists. The key to this is resonating at the same frequency. That's what these are, just different frequencies. Resonating at this frequency of being in this relationship. And the way you resonate with this outer reality, this is an outer reality frequency of, this is in a way like a manifestation of what is on the inside. That's all the outer reality is. The outer reality is a reflection of the inner reality. So the key to this outer reality of 98.4 FM coming here is by tuning your inner reality to 98.4 FM. So even though you're at 106 FM on the outside, what you do is you begin to feel the love inside of yourself by understanding that there may be a story there, some Disney story that you're a broken person, and when you find someone, then you can finally live your happy ever after that we've been conditioned to growing up. Realize you can give yourself permission to feel love now. What is your rules for feeling love? A lot of us will have rules. When I'm in a relationship, then I know I'm worthy. then I'll feel love. When I've accomplished this, and this, and everyone gets my approval, and I have everyone's approval, and everyone approves of me, then I'll feel love. Become aware of your rules for love, and then let them go. Have the non-rule that you can feel love just for being you. That you can allow yourself to feel, that you can allow yourself to feel that love from within. Are you doing what you love for a living? And if not, I would say start doing it more often. Read books you're passionate about. When you start to really fill up your inner cup, imagine that's a cup, fill up your inner cup, you will then start feeling 100% whole and complete on the inside. And then as you do, you're the star of your own movie. And then a reflection of that is you have this attractive energy that people want to be around, and then you attract more love into your life. You see, this is the key to this whole entire process, is changing your inner reality, your energetic field, towards knowing that you can give yourself and take away the rules as to what it takes for you to feel love. Imagine that I could not feel love, and I gave myself this rule. Unless every single person that watches my YouTube videos, unless they accept me and they write nice comments about and they like this video, can you please like this video? If every single one of you likes this video, then the rule is then I can feel happy. Well, it's gonna be a lot harder for me to feel happy because maybe not everybody did like this video. But honestly, could you please like this video? Anyways, that is the key to this process, is understanding that we can get rid of the rules. When we get rid of the rules, then we feel higher vibrational emotion, and then we're more likely to perceive of a relationship. And one of the best ways to feel and to tap into this energy that I found is meditation. And there is the most powerful meditation on my channel. It has over 1.6 million views, and it's one that has hundreds of comments. I'm not saying that to brag, I'm just saying it works. Read the hundreds of comments of people that say that they attracted love from that meditation, listen to it for 21 days. And then as you see that, it'll increase the belief within yourself that it can also work for you, and then commit to it for 21 days and watch what happens. It'll be in the top of the description box below. Listen to that, see what happens, and as always, peace, much love, namaste.